Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Joyful Jessie. If you are new here, I am Jessie. Today I'm going to be sharing with all of you one of those very easy, super simple, and absolutely delicious to make Puerto Rican dishes. And that is Sopa de Gandules, pigeon pea soup, which I also like to refer to as Puerto Rican rice soup, because pretty much the same ingredients that we put on our Puerto Rican arroz con gandules are the same ingredients that are going to go into this soup. So make sure to stick around and watch. So I am so excited to be sharing this recipe with you guys, because it's absolutely delicious. It's one of those things that when I eat, it makes me feel so nice and cozy inside. And it's just so easy to make, and it doesn't take that much effort at all. I absolutely love making sopa de gandules, which, like again, I refer to it as Puerto Rican rice soup, because it seriously has almost all of the same ingredients, with the exception of one or two more things that would go along with the Puerto Rican rice. And you can play with it, you can switch it up, you can make it to your taste. I personally have taken time to just learn how to simplify these Puerto Rican dishes so that they can be things that I can make on a weekly basis instead of just special occasions. I am a full-time working mom and wife. Therefore, my time is very precious, and when I come home straight from work, I want to make and cook something that is not going to take a whole lot of effort and a whole lot of mental thinking. It's going to be delicious and quick to make, and the whole family is going to enjoy. So this is definitely one of those dishes that you want to learn to make. Now, like everything out there that is a Puerto Rican dish, everyone has their own way that they make it, that they consider to be the right way. This is just the way that I've personalized my sopa de gandules so that it works for me and my family. And my family absolutely loves it. And I have a very diverse family. And I want my children to enjoy all of those dishes that I grew up with. And I want to expose them to it while they're living at home. I don't want them just to get a taste of what Puerto Rican food is like when we go to a birthday party or when we go to a relative's house. I want to be able to make those things here, and I want them to learn how to make it so that when they grow older and get married many years from now, they'll be able to share that with their families as well. So enough of me talking. Let's go ahead and get this started. These are simply the ingredients that we are going to be making to make this absolutely amazing soup. I am going to be using 1 cup of medium grain rice. You are welcome to use the long grain rice. I like to cook with the medium grain rice. If you do use the long grain rice, just make sure that you add a little bit more water. I'm going to be using 1 cup of ham, half a cup of cut carrots, 1 packet of Goya Ham seasoning, 2 small sweet peppers, you can add more if you want, and 2 potatoes. I'm going to be using 1 can of gandules. If you can make this with fresh gandules, that is the best, or you can also use the frozen ones. I'm going to be using 1 tablespoon of adobo, 2 tablespoons of sofrito. I like to make my own sofrito. If you would like to check how is it that I make it, click on the link above to check that video out. And I'm going to be using a little splash of olive oil. Now I'm going to be cooking my soup in my Dutch oven. You can use any deep pot that you have. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my olive oil and coat the bottom of the pot, and I'm gonna swirl it around just to make sure that I have a nice small coating on the bottom. This is so that I can sofreír my ingredients first, or saute the ingredients first. I'm going to start with my cut ham, and I'm going to move them around just to make sure they have a little coat of oil on them to make sure they don't stick in the bottom. Then I'm going to take my chopped potatoes and my chopped sweet peppers, and I'm going to toss them in there as well. Give them a little swirl. Again, I want that oil to just get a little coating on them. I'm going to add my carrots in there, and then I am also going to be putting in there my 2 tablespoons of sofrito. This gives all of the food like the best flavor ever.
I'm going to give it a stir, and I'm going to let it saute there for about 2 to 3 minutes. Then I'm going to add my 1 tablespoon of adobo and my 1 packet of the Goya Ham seasoning, and then I'm going to give it another stir to make sure that I have all of those delicious flavors mixed in well with one another. Now I am making a soup, so I am going to be generous with my water. I measured it out and I used about 11 cups of water for this particular batch. Depending on your take, you might want to add a little bit more water to it, depending how soupy you want it. And if you are using the long grain rice instead of the medium grain rice, you are going to want to use more water because that rice does expand and does tend to soak in more of the liquid. We're going to let this sit here in medium high until it begins to boil. After it boils, we're going to be adding our 1 cup of gandules and our 1 cup of rice. We are going to give it 1 good final stir, and we are going to let it sit there in medium high until the soup comes to a boil. Now, you can go ahead and add some sazon to this to add color. I'm going to be adding turmeric just because I'm trying to experiment not using sazon and trying different ways to change it up a little bit. I know that you can use annatto seeds and make the oil. I didn't have that pre-made ahead of time, so I simply used my turmeric. After your soup comes up to a rapid boil, you're going to cover it up and put it on a low simmer for about 30 to 40 minutes. 40 minutes have gone by, and it's time for us to go ahead and check in on our soup. It looks so delicious and it smells so good. I'm gonna go ahead and get a bowl to plate this in and give it a try. When serving my sopa de gandules, I love to garnish it with a couple of fresh cilantro leaves on the top. Not only does it give it a beautiful presentation, but the fresh taste of cilantro is just amazing. Then on the side, I like to also serve it with tostones. It is like the perfect combination. And if you would like to see how is it that I make my tostones, I do have a video out showing you how is it that I make them. You can click on the link above to take you there.
Now here we have a Puerto Rican rice soup or sopa de gandules, and I'm gonna pair it with some tostones. It's always good. Let's give it a whirl, see how it is. It warms the heart. It's so good. Well, once again, guys, here you have another easy, delicious Puerto Rican dish that you can make yourself at home. If I can do it, you can do it. So go ahead and give this nice warm soup a try. You're not gonna regret it. Thank you so much for watching, and please remember to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye.